What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. And I got a guest today, bringing on our first guest to the channel. And this is Deadshot, longtime friend of mine. We've been friends since I think like COVID or somewhere around there. But I
Even
wanted to
before
bring,
COVID.
yeah, actually, I think it was like right before,
Yep.
funny enough. But we're going to be talking about the Xbox showcase, giving our thoughts and reactions of the games that we saw. And I thought, just in general, I want to get your overall thoughts, Ken. What was your just overall thoughts of the showcase itself?
I thought it was pretty good. Actually, there was a lot of games that looked really interesting to me that I really want to try out. There's an old game that I used to play as a kid, and my wife also really likes this game too. Is they showed in the showcase. It was only like 20 seconds. Was the Spyro game,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was really looking forward. Like I was not expecting that in the showcase. I'm going, they're bringing Spyro back. Yo, this is sick. So overall, good show. Really want to. Also, that Gears of War game looks really sick too. But yeah, it was a great showcase.
Yeah, I will say too, this was an awesome showcase. And I don't know if you know some of the background knowledge of like what's happening with Xbox, but this was the first showcase under the new Xbox CEO, Arsha Sharma. Um, Obviously, Xbox has had a really down like past couple of years. And since she's come in February, she's done a lot of changes to really like kind of like revitalize Xbox in a lot of ways. And but let's kick it off. You mentioned it briefly. Let's do Gears of War E Day, man. So this game's coming out October 6th, 2026.
Yep.
If for people who don't know, this is a prequel to the original Gears of War game. So Ken, I don't know if you've played the Gears of War games, but essentially Gears of this E Day is called Emergence Day, is kind of like the pinnacle when things went wrong. Is that like like the locusts started like invading Earth and all this other stuff, and they don't really talk about it in the. I mean, they don't really show much of it in the older games. They just kind of talk about E Day and what
Okay.
happened and kind of the it just you already see what's happening after the fact. So in this game, it really showcases a lot of what the world was like before things went bad, and then the day it actually happens. So you see your main characters, Marcus Phoenix and Dom, as like young characters, like before they even have their suits of armor on, which I'm sure you saw in the gameplay
Yep.
footage. But yeah, it's so nice because in Gears 5, they're pretty much. I don't want to spoil it if you ever, but
No, it's go ahead, man. Like I
okay.
don't know much about these games. And pretty much I just saw the trailer, and just what I
Yeah.
saw, the trailer looked fantastic. So
Yeah, so like Marks and Dom are like best friends essentially, and then in the other games you have Coltrane and Bard, which are it's a squad of four of like
mhm.
core guys. Um, Essentially in Gears of War 3, spoiler, Dom dies, and it's like one of the most emotional scenes in all of gaming. If you just watch, like you need no context, just go watch Gears of War 3 Dom death scene, you will be in tears again. I kid you not. It is one of like the saddest moments. So it's really cool to see him back because in Gears 4 and 5, like Marcus Phoenix is a really old man. So it's kind of cool to see them come back and showcase all this. But to talk a little about the gameplay itself, like you said, it looked awesome, dude.
Oh, it
Unreal
looked
Engine 5
fantastic.
game. It looked beautiful. One of the things that stuck out to me the most was the movement being like
Yep.
evolved. So Gears of War was a very kind of heavy game, cover to cover, but this one it seemed like they're doing a natural progression to how the movement system is. So like now you can actually vault, you can jump, like you jump across like crevices and things like that, and
Yep.
it's been really cool to see like this natural progression of like movement that they've done to this game.
Yeah, they say that they talked about that in the showcase too, saying that they like you said, they added all that stuff, and that they also added jumping. So there's actually jumping in this game now. I'm like, oh, there wasn't jumping in the other ones? Okay. But
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, they mostly dove into the single player stuff. I mean, the single player. I'm curious to see how it doesn't look super linear. It looks almost like open zones from what I could tell.
yeah, from
Um,
from what I saw in there, yeah, they say that like while you're in there, you can go on the path that they're telling you, or you can venture off and go explore and do your own kind of thing if you want to do that too, which is really cool. Actually, you guys should kind of explore and see the entire world of the area that you're in, which is really cool.
you're right. I forgot about that. That is pretty cool because you can like kind of hear something in the back. You know what it reminds me of? You ever play like the Spider-Man games on like
Yep.
PlayStation?
Oh, I love the
That's what
Spider-Man
it kind
games.
of
They're so good.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of that where it's like you're going to the mission, but then you see like crime detected or something like that. I
Yep.
bet you it's gonna be something similar to that, but maybe not as like so flashy in your face, but almost just like hey, like you hear somebody like screaming in the corner like I need help. So that's pretty cool. I'm curious to see how like open they do. They showed no multiplayer stuff, which is really
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't think no, I don't think they did from what I remember. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
just all solo player stuff. Like
So
they
they did
probably kind
announce
of just talked
co-op
about how
campaign.
they developed the game and how much more tech they added into it, stuff like that.
Dude, that was one thing was the amount of passion that they showed in those developers. Like when they were doing like the audio stuff, it was so cool to like see them like create all those different audio effects with like just all
Yeah,
those different props. It was pretty
yeah,
funny.
it's all the random things. They're just like hitting this, like yeah, that's that sound, that's that sound. Like
Well, it was crazy too is that they even showcased that they had to go and find the original chainsaw
the
that
chainsaw,
they
yeah,
made for the original game 20 years ago to make sure
yep,
that the sound was consistent. Like that's just like I don't know. You could just see that those devs are so happy to make the game, and that gives me so much hope of like what they're going to do. They did,
yeah. I'm stoked. Like I said, I've never actually played at like any of these games, but just seeing that showcase and seeing what they're doing with it and all the blood and gore and stuff and like all the kills with like the chainsaw, like you're talking about, how they're ripping through people with the chainsaw. Fuck it. Oh
yeah.
man, like I gotta try this.
Yeah, I'm curious to see more of the co-op stuff. They did briefly mention obviously co-op campaign. That's like crucial to Gears for those who don't know. But they briefly quickly mentioned the 12 player co-op mode. So that's interesting. You would love horde mode, Ken. Essentially it's waves just like you'd imagine with like any sort of horde based shooter, just like wave one, wave two. You just try to survive as long as you can. You can set up some sort of equipment. So I imagine
Some
they're going to have your
traps and stuff.
standard. Yeah, so I imagine you're going to have your standard horde mode, but I'm curious to see what this like 12 player horde mode is. Like that should be like super fun. I think they have a real opportunity to kind of do something similar to like what Helldivers is doing and all the success that game is getting. Like I
Yeah.
can almost see that kind of like if they can kind of mimic that in some sort of way, that'll be cool. But I would say the last thing to end off with Gears of War. So as everybody knows that Xbox has slowly been getting away from console exclusives and all this other things and kind of starting to put games on PS5 where they've done with Indiana Jones and Forza Horizon 6 and whatnot. But with the new leadership and people demanding console exclusive back right after the end of that, Asha Sharma shows up and she's like, we are recommitting to Xbox exclusives. So
Like, yeah.
that was pretty cool to see because look, I think at the end of the day, if you want to sell Xboxes or sell Game Pass or have people buy through the Xbox store or whatever, you have to give people a reason to do that. Otherwise, they'll just go somewhere else, right? So it was pretty cool to see them like recommit to like, hey, this is an Xbox game through and through, which I can get it for some like Bethesda games or other third party games, but it's like your tentpole franchises, your Halo, your Gears, your like your Fables, like those to me should be Xbox. Like that is your identity. Like when you think of those, like that console, you think of that.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's
yeah,
just like Nintendo too, right? Like Nintendo has
yeah,
it's like their games, right? Like the Zelda franchise, the Mario games, like that Zelda, you think Nintendo, like yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, you ready? You want to move on to the next one?
Yep, sure.
All right. So obviously, big one, right? Not right after that, but we'll talk about it. Speaking of temple franchises, Halo Campaign Evolved. So this is a remake of the original Halo, but they are including 3 new prequel missions. Basically, all the footage that they showed was from the prequel missions. It looks pretty cool. Like the colors, obviously from the original Xbox. I don't know if you ever played those, Ken, but it
Yeah,
was
I
kind of
can't
like
have
duller, not super colorful games. But this one, I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. Some interesting aspects of it. I liked how they showed a scene of like you actually being able to fly in space, which it was only done in like Halo Reach. So it was pretty cool to like see that not just a remake, but they're like adding to it. I do think if you're going to take the time to do a remake, and I'm curious to do, and we'll talk about it another time with the Zelda Ocarina of Time remake that was just announced a couple hours ago as we're recording this.
Super
It'd be
stoked.
it'd be cool if more remakes as they come out to kind of do like what Halo's going to do here, where it's like, hey, let's maybe add to the story, maybe flesh out some things, provide a little bit more context. So yeah, they're going to be doing prequel missions here. What did you see from these?
Actually, I can't talk too much about this one. I think this one I kind of missed, as you were saying before. I was at work when I was watching this, so I can't really talk too much about the Halo. I think I missed this showcase. I think I saw like maybe the tail end of it, but that was about it.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, they're going to be redoing some of the voice lines for Sergeant Johnson, who's like a big character for that. But yeah, one thing too I wanted to bring out was they also showcased new hardware. So I don't know if you saw this, but they showcased the new Xbox 25th anniversary console, which actually looks super sick. They're going back. They're basically, it's like that transparent green of like the original console that came out, I think in 2001, somewhere around there. And they're basically reshelling the whole console to have that translucent green, transparent green, and also doing a controller along with it. One cool thing that they put on the controller to like a little nod to the original console was they made the bumpers black and white, because the original Xbox controller didn't have bumpers. You just use the had like black and white buttons, which eventually iterated to become the bumpers. So it's kind of cool that they're kind of doing like a little nod to that. But yeah, the new I'm a sucker for like translucent like technology, like from back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like that stuff is like super sick to me. I always try to like do like shell swaps or other things. Like I have a couple controllers. I did a couple shell swaps of like translucent colors. I've thought about doing a Switch, a translucent shell swap, but it's pretty cool to see them do this. Did you get a chance to see that hardware?
Yeah, I think I did. Like they said, I wouldn't. I can't really like say too much about it, but I'm pretty sure I saw bits and pieces of it. From what I saw, like it does look actually really sick.
Yeah, I'm super pumped about it. As for the next game, this one would probably be up your alley. State of Decay 3. So State of Decay 3 is a zombie game, open world zombie game, kind of like a survival builder type game. This has been in development for like a super long time. The original State of Decays was an Xbox arcade game, basically like a little indie game that then number 2 came out and it blew up, and it's been a big thing for like a long time. Almost picture, man, I don't want to butcher this because I haven't played a ton of State of Decay, but yeah, you basically just kind of build your base, you try to survive, and it's all permadeath, and you go and you loot and try to build up your thing. And like this, so far, we didn't see a ton of gameplay footage of it, but it looks pretty sick. There's a lot of interesting new zombies that are going to be there. I'm curious to see like what a lot of like the base building mechanics are going to be, and just overall, like, because by the time I started like dabbling with State of Decay 2, it was already like kind of late. So I didn't get a chance to really like dive super deep into this game. But with State of Decay 3 coming out, which they're saying 2027, I'm curious to kind of dip my toes in a little bit. But looking at the gameplay and stuff, like what'd you think of what you saw? Okay.
Actually, I'm literally just like checking it out right now because again, there was stuff that I missed on here. It actually looks fantastic. You have freaking all these different weapons that you can get, and the zombies, yeah, right there. The freaking zombies look absolutely fantastic too. Environment looks sick. So, and like me, I'm a zombie player, right? I play a lot of zombies, play COD Zombies, Dying Light, stuff like that. So, any kind of zombie game is always right up my alley.
Yeah. We'll move over to Spyro, like you were talking about. So this is Spyro 4. I played the remakes, the trilogy remake. I think it was called the Reignited trilogy, about 2 years ago. That was a really good remake. I don't know if you had a chance to play that remake at all. But
I played Spyro when I was a kid. I had just like vague memories of it, but I always loved that game. I used to go to my cousin's house and we would just play Spyro all the time, man. absolutely fucking loved it, going around freaking ramming into freaking enemies, freaking flying around, freaking breathing fire and everything. And yeah, when I saw this little reveal of the new Spyro game that's coming out, it looks fantastic. It's very colorful. Yeah, I'm actually just like super stoked to see what they're going to be doing with this game. I'm definitely going to be picking it up on day one.
Yeah, you should definitely try out the Reignited trilogy. I think it came out, man, when did that come out? It had to come out like in the 2010s, like maybe 2018, 2019. If you know, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, check that out. It's pretty fun. I believe it's on Game Pass, but if not, I'm sure you can get it for super cheap on Steam. But yeah, it's basically like a remaster of like the original three, not remaster, remake of the original three games. And it's pretty cool. With this one, I'm curious to see how they evolve the game, because I don't want necessarily like the same Spyro game, because those games were very like kind of rudimentary. They're pretty simple, so I'd be interested to see like how they evolve the game going forward. Like I played a few years ago the Crash Bandicoot reboot, the Crash Bandicoot 4. And then I also went and played the original Crash Bandicoots, and it was kind of cool to see the evolution of like that original Crash Bandicoot to what they did with like a brand new Crash Bandicoot with Crash Bandicoot 4. And then the same thing goes for Ratchet and Clank as well. Like you play the new Ratchet and Clank on PS5, it's like pretty much like, I don't want to say completely different, but it's like a huge evolution from what like the PS2 Ratchet and Clank was. So I hope they do something similar. I hope they do something similar with Spyro. I mean, they already showed a brief glimpse of like you actually flying, which is pretty cool.
I saw that. Yeah, but like in the originals, you could. I think at one of them where you actually gave at it, you can glide. But I think in one of the originals, they gave you the ability to actually fly. But I think it was only during certain missions you could do it. I don't think it was like a skill that you always had.
You know what? You're right. I think but it was still like a gliding. It was like, from what I remember, there was like specific missions that were flying, but you were just gliding through, and then you had to like find wind to like catch you back.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
And then you keep on going. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive that was the case. And based on what other people were saying, they were saying how you could fly and stuff. That looked pretty cool. But speaking of nostalgia, another one I was absolutely shocked to see, because I loved this game as a kid and at the arcades, and I still have it right behind me right now, and I'll pull it. Crazy Taxi.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they just announced Crazy Taxi World Tour.
World Tour. Yep.
Dude, they didn't really show a ton of gameplay, but I'm super pumped. I love they brought the classic music back. I was like, no way, Crazy Taxi. I was like, I used to love that game. That game is so fun. For those who haven't played it, basically what it is, it's a time-based like taxi game where you have to get to like drop the person off at their specific location as fast as possible before the timer runs out. And it's about just trying to do that as long as possible and getting high scores and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see, like, I would imagine they're going to do like different game modes and stuff like that. But the fact that they're bringing Crazy Taxi back, like, to me, that's a must buy. You ever play Crazy Taxi?
Nope. I never checked that one out, actually.
Oh, dude, Crazy Taxi is awesome.
Is that only for Xbox?
No, this was a Sega Dreamcast game. I think they had it.
Oh, that's why I never played it.
Yeah, but it's also had it at, yeah, they had it on, you could play them at arcades too. Like a lot of arcades had Crazy Taxi. I think it was an arcade game first. And then it was, I think they did port it to the original Xbox. I'm not sure. I know for sure, like, this is where it came out on. Like, this was it. But yeah, we'll move on to the next game. And here we have Metro 2039. So I haven't played the Metro games before. I actually own all four of them, or three of them, because I got
played them.
No, because it's one of those Steam sales that happen, and like the idea of Metro always intrigued me. And then I saw that you can get the whole trilogy for $15 on a Steam sale. So I'm like, okay, gotcha. I'm gonna go pick it up. Haven't got to it yet. I'm going to now that the new one's coming out. But yeah, basically, can I have you played them?
No, I've never played them. Like I was saying earlier, I did not get a chance to try those games out.
Yeah, so from what I understand with the Metro games is essentially it's based on a book, like a novel, and it's a first person shooter and you're trapped in this post-apocalyptic world where everybody has moved to the underground of the metro system in Russia. And there's like these communities and like things and factions in this underground metro system, and then you could go up to the surface and you try to survive the surface, and the surface is like scary. I think in the later games you actually spend more time on the surface, but it's almost kind of like Fallout-esque in that sense, where like everything has like kind of turned into like radiation zombie type of things. But this one looked pretty cool. Metro games always look super visually impressive. And this one, the graphics on it look absolutely stunning. But yeah,
Yeah,
we
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you're
I was
good.
gonna say some from briefly what I remember of the game. Yeah, the atmosphere of the game looked fantastic. The enemies were like looked really cool. I'm really trying to remember in my head exactly what the game looked like. I'm actually trying to find it just so I can have like visually see it again.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. So we can move over to something you know very well. DMZ, The Return.
DMZ,
Oh,
yeah. Well,
your
yeah, like I
favorite
play
game,
Call
huh?
of Duty, yes, but I'm also a zombie player. I briefly got into DMZ in Modern Warfare 2. Uh, and from what they showed that like they didn't really show too much of DMZ. They just showed like a one mission that they were doing, and it was all in a body cam too. Like it was just a
Yeah.
weird visual of like the way that they were showing the game. It's like I want to see the game like how we actually play it, not like this body cam point of view that we're seeing here. But it looks
Doesn't
really
the
good though.
doesn't the new Modern Warfares have that? Or like there's like a spectator mode where you can like
Yeah,
see through that body cam type of thing, or
yeah.
helmet
They
cam?
brought that in MW2, where if you died and you're spectating one of your partners, you had the option to go to the body cam and like honestly, like actually seeing it from that perspective in the body cam, it actually looks pretty cool actually. But I actually wanted to see the gameplay of like the way that you would actually play in Call of Duty. I wanted to see it that way, not as the body cam, the way that they showed it.
Yeah, I remember playing. I played a little bit of DMZ for Modern Warfare 2, and I just remember thinking like this was just so like half-assed, like half-baked extraction shooter. It
Yep.
kind of turned into like a war zone, like almost like another war zone with just some AI. It just looks like they kind of like piecemealed it together from assets from the campaign and brought them over. This one looks like it's going to be an actual attempt. And the cool thing is it's the North Korea setting,
Yep.
which the word DMZ comes from, the demilitarized zone, between the two countries of North and South Korea. So it's actually cool that you're playing DMZ in the actual DMZ
In the
this
actual,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
That was like the selling point of this game too. This like all that stuff. It was like, yep, I didn't not like I'm not a DMZ player, but there's also no zombies in this game too. So I'm like, you know what? Let's give DMZ a chance. So when it drops, I'm going to be picking it up and giving DMZ a fair shot.
yeah, like they showed some elements, like obviously like the bandaging up, like that's going to be a mechanic. I'm curious to see how hardcore they really take it, because extraction shooters, a lot of them tend to be like, they're pretty hardcore games, like in terms of like tactical leaning and bandaging and performing surgery on yourself just to heal. So I'm curious to
Yep.
see how deep they go with it. I mean, it is Call of Duty at the end of the day, so I don't anticipate they're going to do too much. But yeah.
Also their movement too. Like in the trailer and the showcase, they didn't really talk about like the movement, but they did release some stuff about movement. The movement looks really good. Like when you're actually sliding in the game and you're going up to like an obstacle, if you slide into the obstacle, it'll actually mount you up on top of it and jump over it as well. So it's gonna make movement so much easier. And there's also like poles like upside along buildings. You can actually climb up the poles to get to the rooftop and stuff like that in the game. Like the movement is looks pretty cool.
That's actually kind of cool. So there's a lot more like environmental vaulting and like like just
Yeah,
like environmental movement. That actually is kind of
yeah,
cool. I didn't see that.
yeah.
Interesting.
That was released a while ago before this showcase.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Here's a new game. If you don't remember, pull up the video on the link I sent you. Magicians: The Devil's Deal.
this
This
looks
is
good.
a Yeah, right. Okay,
Yeah,
this is a world premiere game. So this is so me and Ken can kind of talk like equally on this because we don't know anything about this. We just
yeah.
found out about this.
No idea. Yep.
So this is from Uppercut Games and Focus Entertainment. So Focus Entertainment's a big publishing company. They made the likes of like old Warhammer games, World War Z. I don't know. They make a ton. They publish a ton of games, but usually a lot of their games are pretty solid that they kind of back. But yeah, this one's cool. It's a narrative driven first person shooter.
Shooter,
Like
somewhat. Yeah,
yeah, of this magician in like Victorian era London where he made a deal with the devil and now he has to essentially live with those consequences.
yeah.
And you have like these weapons of like cards and this wand, and the movement looks sick, the environmental design looks so cool, the enemy design looks cool. I was blown away by this game because the intro starts you off like in this theater and it's like a puppet show kind of thing,
Muppet Show.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? And then like it gets deeper and then it shows because I still wasn't necessarily sold on it. And then I saw the gameplay that they were showing. I'm like, this looks sick.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of refreshing myself right now with the video, and yeah, it absolutely looks fantastic. Um, like actually, like this part right here, it looks like the entire stage is all ripped apart. So you got platforming and stuff like that you're gonna have to do, and yeah, you got like this wand that you can use to take down enemies, playing cards, and like just the visuals look absolutely fantastic. Like I am actually looking forward to checking out this game and seeing what it's going to be like because it looks really cool and interesting.
Yeah, I like how unique it is too. Like it's
That too,
different,
yeah,
like
yeah, it's different.
dude,
It's like it's not like your standard. Oh, get a gun and stay alive and just shoot people. Like you're actually using different kind of weapons in this. It's cool.
yeah, I don't know if you played this game, but it reminds me a lot of Avowed that came out last year. Not exactly like in terms of like the way the combat looks, where Avowed was like this like medieval fantasy, like I guess I played a little bit of it. I didn't really pique my interest. I tried it out and I was like, yeah, I kind of stopped like after an hour or two. But you kind of have like a lot of hand movement and like magic throwing, and that's what this reminds me of a lot. Obviously, like a total different like setting and whatnot, but this looks really really cool. It says it's going to be coming out in 2027, so yeah, I that's something I'm keeping my eye on. I really want to see that. I'm assuming it's just going to be a single player game, but that looks pretty
Yeah,
sick.
yeah, it looks like it's
Uh,
just going to be a single story base. Get from point A to point B, and yeah, looks yeah, like I said, it looks fantastic. I really want to. I do want to try this game out. I'm pretty sure I will definitely try it.
yeah. So as for the next one, we'll move on. Uh, I'll cover this one super quick. Doom expansion of the Dark Ages.
Dark Nation Revelations.
Yep.
Yep.
I played maybe I got about 70% of the way through Doom Dark Ages last year. I didn't beat it. Doom is one of those games, and I don't know if you've played them and you feel this way. I love them for like 8 hours and then I'm burnt out of it.
It's funny that you said that you've only been like 70% through, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly where I am too. Actually, I bought the game. I was super hyped in it. I streamed it for like 10 hours, I think it was. I did 5-hour streams, and or sorry, I did 5 hours, 2 streams, like 10 hours in total. And yeah, I made it to about 70%, and I kind of just got bored of it. I'm just like, no, I'm just done right now. I just never got back into it. I should like jump back into it and actually complete the game, but I just haven't.
Yeah, it's just one of the like. There's some people that just love it, and I'm not even saying it's a bad game. I
Oh no,
actually really enjoyed the game,
Yeah.
and I love the puzzle solving. I love I like how they did this new like open zone approach, and then you can find like puzzles and pieces off to the side throughout the game. I thought the new combat elements were sick with the shield and being able to throw it,
Yep.
but it gets it's one I and maybe it's just a me thing, but between the music and like the high intensity, it just gets my heart rate going to where like I was only able to play like two missions at a time where I'm like, all right, I need a break because I'm like stressed out right now because the heavy metal's just rocking, and then it's like demons are just coming after you, and I'm like, I enjoyed every minute of it, but it got to a point where I was just like, all right, I need I need like I'm kind of like whatever with it anymore now. I'm like it's kind of becoming a little repetitive, especially once you
Yeah,
get all your weapons. It's like okay, I kind of get the gist. I'm kind of like over it, and maybe I'll come back for this expansion. I'm curious, but the expansion's coming out July 7th, 2026. It looks like to be like a snowy setting. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
like
hop back into it.
with this deal with this coming up, maybe I might pick the game back up again and try and actually complete it because yeah, I'm just like I'm close to the end, I'm pretty sure, but I just have not had the urge to jump back into it again.
Yeah. So another game that's coming out and a new franchise coming out relatively soon. I've been following pretty intensely. I don't know if you've kept your eye on it, but that's Clockwork Revolution. So Clockwork Revolution is that steampunk era. It almost looks like a BioShock Infinite style game, and but it has like this time element to it. I actually thought the showcase trailer didn't look as cool. It looks like it was just kind of like a trailer where it's like, hey, we're still here, we're coming out next year. Um, but this game I've been having my eye on for a while now. It looks super cool. I love that steampunk BioShock Infinite style aesthetic. I love the time travel element of it to where I don't know if you followed it a lot, Ken, but essentially
No, I
it's
didn't.
one of those. Imagine if you threw a grenade, you can rewind time like 30 seconds and do it again
Oh, okay.
and like make sure you do it right. But then also too, you can rewind back farther in time or go in the future in time and change the outcome of present day. So the whole storyline is about like utilizing time to they haven't really detailed like what exactly the plot is, but essentially because I don't really know what the plot is exactly, but they basically make it a point that like time is playing a big factor and you will need to go back in time to change the present day and utilizing time within combat and whatnot. I think in this trailer they showcase like a heist and they show a little bit of the little robot sending the protagonist back in time 25 years to then change what's currently happening. But I don't know, it's a super cool game. I'm really interested in it. It's something that been keeping my eye on, and also too, this was another game next to Gears. They flat out said this will be a console exclusive or Xbox console exclusive. I imagine it's still coming to PC because usually I think when they're saying console exclusive, they're just saying like this is the only console. Like it's not going to PlayStation or Nintendo.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox and
Yeah.
then Xbox PC essentially. So
Yeah, that's a good
yeah,
thing about
this one
having
looks
my
pretty
PC.
cool.
I can actually get all these Xbox games.
yeah. Yeah, I mean Windows, my Xbox, Microsoft, it's all
Yep.
one thing. But yeah, I mean, have you seen the little bit of the trailer? Like what you think of that?
The Clockwork one?
Yeah,
No, that one I think I missed this one actually. Unfortunately.
yeah,
So
yeah. That one's
I
cool.
didn't
I
see too much.
highly recommend checking that one out. It's super sick looking. Um, we'll move on to another one. We don't got very many left. This one, I don't play this game, but I thought this was kind of interesting. Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is coming out with a new update called the Custom Seas update. And essentially, what it looks like is just this Forge like mode, or like kind of like what Fortnite has, where it's just like a sandbox where you can do like all kinds of different things and like PvP stuff. And like I said, I never played Sea of Thieves. I've had some
Yeah,
interest into it, but it looks like one of those games where Sea of Thieves is one of those games, from what I understand, where it's like trying to get into it now is almost like impossible. um, but I thought that new update looked pretty cool. I'm always a sucker for games that just allow like this open sandbox to like do whatever you want. So like people come up with all these creative like game modes and whatnot. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool for all the Sea of Thieves fans out there. Maybe I'd pick that up. I don't know. I got a huge backlog this year because there's just so many good games coming out. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's the same here, man. Like that's just the problem with me too, man. I have all these games that I want to play, but I just don't have enough time to play them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sea of Thieves. I remember some people like playing that game all the time, but yeah, that was just something I didn't jump into because I'm pretty sure when that game first come out, like which Call of Duty was out when that game came out?
Oh, dude, I have no idea.
Because I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure I was playing a lot of COD at that point, so I just kind of like, nah, I don't want to give that one a shot.
this may have came out like 2018, 27. Man, I'm completely out. I really don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know
It feels like it's been around forever. I mean, season 20, dude. Like I don't. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
but,
there you go. Yeah, yep. I never got into it. Never gave it a shot. So yeah.
The last one I have personally on my list, and I'm super excited for when it comes out. I know you probably don't play because it's not really up your speed, but the new Fable game, dude. I am super pumped for the new Fable game. This was the first trailer out of the few gameplay snippets that we've seen and stuff that we've seen of actually taking the darker serious tone, because Fable has this interesting like dynamic where it has like elements of like British humor, but then
Yeah.
like it can get very dark, very serious, like Elder Scrolls esque to it. And this was the first trailer where it actually showcased that. Like you saw the villain. They're bringing back the classic villain from the original Fable, which is my gosh, Jack of Blades. I had it right here. I had to take a look. He's
Yeah,
returning. That's going to be the main antagonist to the game. So I'm super. They basically announced the delay. It seems like everybody, and I want to talk to you about it, everybody's dodging or trying to get out of the way of GTA 6. No one wants to get close to it because this game was supposed to drop this. I bet you this game is ready. Like
it probably is, but they're probably just taking that extra time to make sure it's fully polished, because from what my understanding, there is a lot going on in this game. So I'm sure they're trying to make sure every bug is fixed before they release it, because if there's bugs out there, people are going to complain.
Oh yeah, because it does. I mean, it has like this whole economy system. It has this morality kind of thing going on, and then obviously its own combat and stuff like that. It looks like an amazingly impressive game. It's so crazy to think the same people that are making this are the people that make the Forza games, like two completely different style games. But yeah, I'm super excited to try this game out. I'm not a huge RPG fan. I don't say I'm not a huge one, but I enjoy a good one, but I'm very selective with them. This one is one that's like top of my list for me because I played the original Fable and some of Fable 2 as a kid, and I want to go back into it because it's been a long time. Because this is the first Fable game since I think 2009. So it's pretty cool to see a lot of these classic franchises come back in the showcase. It did a really good mix of like new stuff, but then also like revitalizing some of the old things like that we just haven't seen in like forever. Like we mentioned with Crazy Taxi, Spyro, A State of Decay 3, Gears of War coming back. I mean, Gears of War's been gone. I mean, Gears of War's been gone since I think Gears 5 dropped 2018. It's been like 8 years since a Gears of War game, which man, time flies. It's insanity.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking of actually just grabbing some of those games and just trying them before I jump into the new one, kind of understand the combat, kind of understand the world, the story, like maybe try and get a little bit of knowledge before I jump into this brand new one.
Dude, let me know when and where. I've been wanting to do the same thing. Also, the Gears co-op is known. Gears campaign is known for its co-op. So like I am always down to play with you, brother. It's on the Game Pass stuff. So if you still have that, we could always hop on. I am super down. They just did it's called Gears of War Reloaded. It came out last September. Basically a 4K remaster of the original game. And did some minor fixes. So like that's probably going to be the one to play. Okay. So yeah, I'm super down to do that. But I mean, is there any other games that I might have missed? I know there's some that I only wanted to like highlight the big ones that I thought was interesting. I mean, I know a lot of people are hyped for that new Persona 6 game. I'm not a huge JRPG fan, but I know a lot of people are super stoked about the Persona news. But I don't want to. Yeah. Have you ever played those? I've never
I
played
never,
this. Never been up.
never, never played those either.
Yeah, I've never been I'm not a big anime or a JRPG fan, so those never necessarily appealed to me. But I do know, like, for those people, like, that was a huge announcement for them. But outside of that, I think we're going to call it there. I think we kind of went over general thoughts of the Xbox showcase, everything they offered. Obviously, not go over everything. We missed some couple things like Plague's Tale Requiem. That actually looks kind of interesting. Never played a Plague's Tale game, but that one looks pretty cool. I did see they're doing a new Hellblade game called Senua. Never played the Hellblade games, but I always know they're like known as being just amazing tech demos, essentially, where they just look incredible. At least with the second one. I don't know about the first one. I know the second one was a big deal when the new consoles came out, about how like amazing it looked. But I don't know. I mean, those ones, maybe if I come across it, it's not like top of my list. I think there's a lot of other games that we mentioned here today that are definitely a lot higher in that field. But yeah, like I said, Ken, any final thoughts, man?
Nope. I'm pretty sure I've gone through everything I could. Like I said, like I wish I could have gave more input. Like I kind of went through the showcase. I was, like I said, I was at work, so I didn't get to see the entire showcase. And not big on Xbox too much, but a lot of the games that I saw in the showcase, from what I saw, actually looked fantastic. And there's a few games that I'm actually going to go pick up and try them out and stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you guys want to see more content just like this, please feel free to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.
See ya.